Tired of living broke, so before I sleep, I pray.
What's up, fam? Welcome to another episode of Crab Legs and Kool-Aid with your boy Titus Makin. So we're gonna do something a little different this season. I'm thinking about this. This is my first trial, I'm gonna be honest, with doing a solo episode. It was advised to me to try to do because I get to encounter some of y'all lovely folks on TikTok and Instagram and everything like that. And I see a lot of the questions that y'all be asking, but I'm not gonna sit there and be typing all night answering the same questions over and over again. So it's like, why don't you just do an episode of your podcast addressing stuff that's asked you a lot? So if y'all like this, if it does well, then I'll do a few more throughout the season, and I'll just address stuff, and I'll have y'all like to just send in more questions. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I don't really know what I'm doing. You have to find out. All right. I just wrote some notes. I took notes and I wrote down the questions that y'all are wanting me to answer and that I've always been asked, and I get asked daily, all the time. Actually, before we get into these, so if you see me holding my phone, I'm checking your questions to see what question to answer next. But before we get into this, let me just say that I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I start every episode this way, and this is no different. This is such a blessing for me to be able to do. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to do a season 2, but I'm happy I am. And I just love y'all's support. Y'all have been rocking with me through multiple different jobs, multiple different TV shows, multiple different artist names. I switched my artist name so many times on the music. So like, thank y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. And okay, let's dive in. The first question is, okay, talk about my music. What do I have going on and stuff coming up? All right, let's get started. My artist name is ERLY, like the day, except no A, okay? Writing bars as we go. Tell me that's not a bar. ERLY, ERLY. How I got that name, people always ask me, how'd you get the name ERLY? How'd you get the name ERLY? So I was watching Dreamgirls. We know Dreamgirls, Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce. I was watching Dreamgirls, and Eddie Murphy's character is James Early. They call him Jimmy Early on the movie. And I've always loved the name Jimmy. Like always. Like I want to name my son Jimmy. People roast me all the time. They're like, Jimmy? I always thought the name Jimmy was dope. Jimi Hendrix, like, that's really a Jimi Hendrix. But Jimmy's dope. Like, who doesn't like a Jimmy? Like, there's no way to not like you if your name's Jimmy. Hey, yo, Jimmy, Jim Bones, Jimmy B, what's up, boy? Like, I feel like he's just the homie. You feel me? So I've always loved that name. And then I watched the movie, and Eddie Murphy's character, his name's Jimmy, James Early. And I was like, yo, that's dope. And this is at the time where I was transitioning out of being Butterfly Ali, like that name. I used to be called Butterfly Ali because I just wanted to be weird. I'm quirky. Y'all know I like offbeat, left of center things, vibes, aesthetics, music. Great. So I was like, I want to be a name that's like, and the only reason, mind you, that I'm doing 2 different names, it's not because I have multiple personality disorder where I think I need to have a different whatever. It's purely because I noticed people weren't grasping my acting self, which I go by my name, Titus Makin, and my music. They're like, oh, is that Jackson doing, why is Jackson singing that song? Jackson wouldn't sing that. And they weren't disconnecting my acting side from music side. So I was like, great, let me make a clear line. They're both the same person. Quite honestly, my artist self early is way more true to who I actually am, ironically enough, than Titus Makin, which is associated with a bunch of different characters I play. So anyway, Eddie Murphy's character was named Jimmy Early. And I was like, oh, Jimmy Early, that's dope. I want to go by Jimmy Early. Like, that'd be a dope. I just thought that was a dope name. But I was like, I can't do that because it's already established. Oscar-winning movie, people are going to be like, you just copied Eddie Murphy's character name. So I dropped the Jimmy. And that's how we got to Early, folks. That's it. No super cool story, just me. My love for the name Jimmy led me to the name Early. And I was like, oh, that's brandable. That's cool. And I wanted something easy and short that everybody could say would look cool on like logos and everything like that. You could chant it early, early. And I was like, that's easy. Because with Butterfly Ali, it was like, what are you going to call me? Ali? There's Muhammad Ali. Like, butterfly. That's too much. So yeah, that's how we got to Early. I'm asked that question a lot. So those of you who care, there you go. Next question. What do I aspire to accomplish goals-wise? I like this question, goals-wise. And I'm going to speak life into this because people always talk about manifesting. I don't know how you feel. I truly feel like manifesting is literally just having faith. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. And like, that's me believing in something I can't see yet. and haven't done or achieved yet. It's like, so yeah, like I'm gonna put practice to the word, having faith, manifesting, what have you. And I aspire to, you know what, I'm gonna say this. I aspire to win a Grammy. Yeah, you heard it here first. I aspire to win a Grammy. And I feel sometimes delusional because I believe it can happen. And I'm like, and there's so many artists in the world, but I've been proven, like, God has really shown me that it's doable. Like with acting, you know how many actors are trying to do it? And the amount of times I look back on stuff I've done career-wise, and I'm like, whoa, I actually did it. Like I actually desired to be an actor and cut through and made it onto the TV screens. And like, yeah, it's like a ever growing desire and goal to like keep growing as an actor and keep building your name and your projects. But as far as the actual accomplishing it, that happened. And I'm like, if God has shown me that it's capable, that it's possible, and I'm capable, then surely why would I be wrong on the music side? I'm like, now it's one thing if you're just not good. Yeah, and I'm not thinking I'm like, oh my God, she's amazing. But I've like cross-referenced that where I'm like, y'all, and I've sat down from industry professionals to friends and family. I'm like, tell me if I'm delusional and I'm not good, or if I'm like one of those people that's just like, it's right, I can do this. And they're like, somebody should tell them that it's not really gonna be cutting through. But I trust the people that I've had support from, and I trust myself, and I trust God, and it's felt like a go. And I'm like, I'm determined, and I believe that I will win a Grammy. That's a goal of mine. And it's not just because of accolade. It's like I want to say it's like ultimate affirmation of like keep creating. Like I like that it's like a goal to like reach for, and it's like, yep, keep going. People are receiving it, keep going. But yeah, and then there's always obviously goals underneath that I have for myself, even just like touring more and starting to open for people on tour. That's like a right now goal. Like the Grammy is like, I'm gonna say 2 years away. 2 years. But the touring is something I'm trying to have accomplished by this upcoming years, be on tour opening for people and performing live more, because the music is starting to speak for itself and is being received well. So I thank y'all for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all have been digesting early music phenomenally. So thank you. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, talk about how I feel about the industry. Which one? Just in general, let's separate the two. So I mean, this is gonna open up a can of worms, maybe. I don't know. But people ask me, I get this question a lot. Do you prefer acting or music? My answer to that is music. But let me tell you why. Not that I don't enjoy acting. I truly enjoy acting at times when I'm excited about script and the story. Like there's this whole part of my career where you're just kind of doing anything, which I don't advise, but when I fell into the habit of just doing anything and auditioning for anything, even if I didn't really like it or care about it, or didn't even want to be associated with it, just to build credits. You got to build credits and da da da, which is true. You do. It does help to build credits and burst the doors, but I didn't realize till I got older that it was harming me here, that I was just doing anything. And I was like, I don't even believe in this. Like I'm projecting a narrative projecting a narrative, but also living in a storyline or a character that I don't even want to be a part of. And then I also fell victim to the kind of age old thing where it's like, as an actor, you're just supposed to tell somebody else's story. That is beautiful, but I think there's stories for everybody to tell. Just because I don't want to tell a certain story doesn't make me less of an actor. I just know what I'm passionate about, and I know what I have something to offer to, right? But it wasn't until I was older now that I was like, oh, I probably should have been saying no a lot more, because I didn't want my manager to be mad. I didn't want my agent to be mad. They were like, you're passing on stuff, da da da. And it's like, and I started doing anything to appease everybody, and I wanted to make everybody money, but I was hurting myself. The person I have to sleep with at the end of every night. Like I was like, why I do that? Like I did that for a check, did it for a credit that sometimes doesn't even help. It's like, you really just got to do stuff for your actual peace and joy, and knowing where you have something to offer. Anyway, I say all that to say that the reason I would choose music as a preference industry wise is because it doesn't mean that there aren't holdups. in music on the industry side that are like very difficult to break through and to deal with having your own voice and everything. But with music, I feel like I can share my story. I can actually tell you how I feel. I have a say, right? And then you do on the actor side as well. If you're when you dabble in the writing or the producing or directing, or you work your way up enough to like really only choose roles that are right for you and you have something to offer. But from the music from the beginning, with music from the beginning, I've had a say. And I love that because I'm such a creative that I love having say over my visuals, over what I'm wearing, over my lyrics, over the sonics, what the production sounds like. Like I have a lot of thoughts and I love to share them. So yeah, music, I've always just gravitated towards music more. People think I'm more of an actor because that's what they sing more, right? It worked out first publicly. So they're like, oh, you do music too? But I actually started doing music. I was always doing music first. My sister was the actress. And when Glee came along, I did go to performing arts school for music and acting. But that was just because I was smart enough to know I wanted to kind of equip myself all the way around because I knew I was going to want to try acting eventually. But I just didn't think it would snowball first, right? Yeah, I moved to LA and I moved to LA with a demo. Like I recorded something in New York, moved to LA and was trying to like do the music thing. And of course I was like, well, if I'm here, of course I should lean into the acting, which I also had training in. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do it all to see what sticks. And the acting started sticking first, but then it kind of mentally trapped me into thinking that I needed to stay with acting. I was also being told that, well, if it's working out, well, clearly if it's working out the easiest, clearly that's what you're supposed to be doing. Like where, and I still war with this. Like people out here would be like, well, if there's no pushback, right? Then clearly that's where you're supposed to be. Like it's fate, if you will. It's like, well, it's working out, like walking what's working. And it's like, no, I actually truly believe, yeah, that could also work. And I love that. But I kind of feel like what I'm supposed to do is on the other side of fear, right? Like I feel like what I'm really called to do that like really makes me happy, even though I'm not walking in through perfectly open doors. I feel like I'm pushing through something that the devil is like clearly wanting me to stay out of because it's so difficult. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I get to use that difficult blanket as an excuse to not do it. Instead, I want to push through the difficulty and be like, I know I'm supposed to be over there because I was afraid to do it. I don't know if that makes sense. I said that a little weird, but I feel like music is that, where it's like, okay, it's proving itself to be more difficult to break into, but does that mean I shouldn't do it? I don't think so. I think that means I should push harder, have more faith, trust in God, and keep Him with me as I'm doing so. And it would be different if I wasn't getting green lights along the way. Like I've been getting green lights. I've been getting those affirmations that I'm like, all right, God, I'm just checking if I'm in the right space here. And things will open and then doors will open and new avenues will open to keep pushing. But yeah, even though it's harder, what I'm saying is even though the music is harder, in my opinion, because there's no set way to get in front of the right people. Like with acting, I could sign up for showcases and be in front of agents. I could do all these different things to kind of put myself in front of the right people. Music is a little trickier to find the right people to put yourself in front of, but they're both difficult. Let's not get it twisted. But I would choose music. Long-winded answer, but I hope that made a little bit of sense. Okay. Oh, I just went into that. Great. That was the next question. The next question was thoughts about acting versus music. Ooh. I naturally talked about that. Okay. All right, let's get into some rookie talk because these are questions I get all day, every day. If you look at any of my comments on any post ever, from TikTok to Instagram, you'll see rookie stuff. I love the rookie cast. We're 4 or 5 years out from me not being on the show, and y'all still, not the cast, but the viewers still act like my character just died yesterday. So with that said, I mean, for me, it was such a long time ago that I was on the show that I feel like it's irrelevant to talk about, but I appreciate y'all's support and love so much. And so what people ask me all the time is, do I get sick of being called Jackson or everything being the rookie? And I'm like, no, I don't. Now, do I appreciate it when people actually comment or take heed in what I'm actually posting about. Let's say if I post a new song and nobody's responding about the song, but they will comment rookie stuff. I still don't mind, but do I love seeing when people actually respond to what I'm actually posting about? Yes, 100%. And the reason I don't mind about people constantly talking about the rookie, even though we're 5 years out from me even being on the show, is because you could hate my character. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like boo hoo, woe is me that I was able to express myself and do art and you responded well to the character. Oh, Titus, I'm so sorry that we loved your character. Like, that's a huge compliment. Like, I'm honored that people, one, that there's an audience at all to post my music to or anything I'm putting on TikTok or Instagram. Two, that audience liked my character. Like, there's characters that people don't like and they're getting roasted always because they were such, I don't feel this way, but that person they think was such a bad actor. I hated that character, and they're getting that side of negativity. It's a blessing that y'all love the character. So I have no issue with it. Like for the rest of my life, if y'all appreciate the rookie and Jackson West, thank you, because that really could have gone the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? So that's my answer for that. And then I just appreciate the whole cast. People always ask me, are you guys still friends? You guys can be done. Of course, everybody has their own lives. They're working daily. I'm not talking to them regularly, but I would love to always, if we were, like when we do catch up via TikTok, or we see each other in person, or if we're in a text chain or stuff, or anything, it is amazing. I love the rookie cast. They're some of the closest people to, like, I spent some of my like most difficult years with them in my personal life that I'm like, we're a family. You know what I mean? So I love them. And the producers and the writers, the whole rookie family. I'm so thankful for them. Beyond repair. Let that be clear, because people be trying to start little weird drama things. I'm like, there's no bad blood whatsoever on my end. I love y'all. And I've been with them and they've shown me that love back. It's not like we don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that for y'all. Okay. Next question. Okay. Let's talk about, okay. So do I care? I'm skipping through one that I'm like, oh, that's kind of boring one. Yeah. Do I care what people think about me or say about me online? Like when it comes to haters or trolls, whatever we're calling it. I would be lying if I said no. Of course I do. Do I'm in a place in my life right now where I've heard so many negative things about myself. Like I was a part of an old friend group that was, I guess, trying to like cancel me or ruin my career or ruin my life, whatever. People have a right to feel and think how they want. They're valid in their feelings. It doesn't mean it's accurate for my life, but I don't want to ever say that somebody, how they feel is not accurate for them. You know what I mean? But with that said, I heard a lot of hateful descriptions and a lot of hateful opinions and thoughts as to who I am and who my character is. But the reason I'm saying all this is because of that. While I learned a lot from that, good and bad, like there was things that I've heard about myself and I'm like, I actually do need to work on that. And it took me into my, 30s now to where I'm like, okay, I see that. That's valid. And that's from even that group where I'm like, okay, I can take that, because I'm like, that's valid. I do need to work on that. Like young minded Titus, there's no book that I could have read to be like, hey, you're climbing a success and you have a lot of friends. Like, make sure you're doing everything like this. And that's the grace that I wish was allotted me a little differently. But at the same time, a harsh hand, like I also learned a lot. So it's like, I think things work out how they're supposed to. So I'm grateful for those lessons. It obviously hurt a lot because I'm like, wow, people view me negatively. And it's always been my goal to like, just be a crap storm of energy and love and like, but obviously within that, I'm wild. I'm making stupid decisions. I'm like not realizing that I'm potentially hurting people. And it's like, okay, there's just a lot of growth that needed to happen. And I was on the later side of that, because people probably like, you were in your like mid to late 20s. You should know this. I just didn't have experience. Everybody learns stuff differently. But now I say all this to say that because of that situation, I heard a lot of negative things. I was called everything under the sun. Like there's not a name I haven't heard myself called. And it hurt really bad. But it also taught me to kind of man up a little bit, callous up a little bit, not to learning and growing and changing, but as far as like, okay, you're allowed to have that view of me. I used to be like, what? Like, it would break me to think that somebody had a bad life experience from me and that you don't like me? Like, that hurts. Like, I like you. Like, why don't you like me? Like, I would never trash your name or say anything negative about you, but you want to say negative stuff about me. Like, that's just to eat me up until I realized I was like, okay. People aren't always rooting for you. Because you're rooting for them doesn't mean they're rooting for you, right? My dad used to always say, and I'm not saying, because you'll hear what I'm going to say, but my dad used to be like, Jesus was here and they crucify him. He was physically perfect, like across the board of a human. And no matter how much love he had to give, they still hated him, thought he was lying, crucified him, da da da. So imagine, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus. I'm just saying that I'm flawed. I'm not always operating from the best intentions. I'm not always knowing what I'm doing. I don't know how to move. I have to learn what and what not to do. So I'm already coming from a huge place of sin. So why did I ever think that people are gonna be like, no, Titus, we see the good in you. We know what your intentions are. No, they're gonna assume my intentions are bad because they're only seeing what I'm struggling with or going through or how I'm not handling things well. So of course they're going to view me in the light, and then that's wrapped in their own insecurities, because people like in that friend group are also dealing with their own stuff. So it's like we're reflections of each other at times where it's like, I mean, everybody's scared and growing and learning. So if I'm coming from that much of a mess, why would I think that I would be exempt from being ridiculed or called out of my name or anything like that? I just lived in this world, this bubble that like, well, I would never call anybody else anything or say anything bad about someone else. Why would they say something about me? Rude awakening? They will. They will. If you're the most beautiful, perfect person in the world, Jesus, they still got something to say. They were still bashing his name. So it's like I said, once again, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus. I'm just saying the human condition, flesh, right? We are going to point a finger. And it's not to say that I'm an innocent person. Like, I have tons of things I'm guilty of, and I have tons of things that I've been accused of that I'm not guilty of, right? So it's like, it's both. So it's like, welcome to human. Everybody else watching, you have tons of stuff that people have put on you that's not true. And then there's stuff that they're right about and we need to work on. Cool. So with that said, does it affect me when I read things that are poor about myself? Yes. It hurts my feelings that people view me in a way that's not accurate or view me in a light that isn't true to myself. Because I know the people that actually know me are like, T, I was there for that. Anybody with a heart can see that that was not your intention. Like, it takes somebody else that's like dealing with their own stuff to project something else, to try to paint a picture of something. And it's like, right. But what can I learn from what's been said and done? There's still lessons in that. So nothing's ever fallen numb on me. Or even somebody reads something, I'm like, is that accurate? And I throw it away if it's not. I've gotten good at that where I'm like, nah, cap. Nope, that's so far off. And I release it. And I leave comments now. I used to delete comments that are bad, but now I'm like, I have nothing to hide. So now I'm like, oh, that's how they feel. Well, I'm gonna leave it there so anybody else can comment their opinions, or people can just read stuff like that. I don't need to paint myself that I'm perfect and not flawed. I'm like, y'all can see my comments. Some people love me and some people hate me. And I'm like, why am I trying to delete that and make it seem like everybody's Team Titus? I'm like, that's not the reality of life. And now I'm old enough to realize that it's not the reality of life. People will feel how they feel. And I'm just keeping a smaller circle in people that actually build me up and understand my character, understand my intentions. And you still come across an apple or two that aren't the best choice for me to bring into my life. And vice versa. I'm not the best choice for people to bring into their life sometimes. Like, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might let you down. And I used to think that I wasn't going to let anybody down. But it's like, I walk in fully booked open now where I'm like, hey, I'm not promising you anything. You're probably going to hate me. You might hate me in a couple months. You might love me in a couple months. I don't know. I'm figuring this out. Thing called life. But another long-winded answer, but a good question. Let's do One more. We got one more. We're gonna do one more question. And if y'all have more, like I said, we can do another episode of this type of thing. Or if you want me to elaborate into anything more that you like that I said, or you didn't like that I said, I can address something if you feel like I was speaking out of turn or saying something that was false, if you will. Yeah. Once again, this is just my flawed perspective on things that are going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. One last question. Let's see. Let's go here. Okay, here's a good question. What's one thing I wish people knew or cared to understand about me? I like that. Okay. Something I wish that people knew or cared to understand about me. There's a few things that pop in my head, but I'm trying to think of something like deeper. I wish they knew, well, honestly, we kind of already touched on it. I wish they knew that my objective was not harm. Like, I don't have it in me. Like, anybody, like, I've met people in my life before, I'm sure we all have something similar to this, that are like, will act like they're scared to bring something up to me. You know what I'm saying? As if I'm going to get too offended or retaliate poorly. And I'm like, no, I would rather you tell me. Did I offend you somehow? Tell me, please. Did I hurt your feelings somehow? Tell me. Because I'm going to share it with you. Like, I have no desire or need to like go to somebody else and be like, yeah, you know, so-and-so really hurt me. And they're my friend that I can just talk to. So I wish that people knew that and a lot of people do know this. I'm a goofy dude. Y'all see me on social media. Like, I personally don't feel like there's anything intimidating about me, to be quite honest. Like, I'm about as goofy and whatever as they're seeing right now. But for whatever reason, there have to be people in my life that don't come to me. And I never understood that because I'm like, when have I ever projected that I wasn't warm enough to communicate? You know what I'm saying? Like, now there have been bad times. Like, once again, I'm not perfect. So there have been bad times where I can be a combative person, right? Like, if I feel like you coming for me, that's different. If you're attacking me, then I'm like, hold on, let me stand up for myself right now. But in a sense of like, I've offended you, harmed you, hurt you anyway, come to me, say it. And I'm going to work on it. And here's a common misconception. People expect people to change overnight. That's not fair. That's not a fair thing or assumption to put on somebody. I don't expect it from you. Don't expect it from me. But if you're willing to walk life with me, do friendship, do relationship, whatever, it's like, you should see me progressing, right? But don't get mad at me. I know this is the last thing I'll say is in that other friend group that I spoke to you about, the person that was like leading the charge to like try to ruin my life. I don't really know what to call it because I still don't know to this day if the objective was to help me somehow by harming me and like dragging my name, or I genuinely don't understand the intention. I'm like, you don't want to harm me, but you're quite literally inflicting harm upon me, my family, my heart, my everything. And it's like, but you want to have, so I don't know what the objective is. It could just be straight up like vengeance in the sense of like, I'm hurting you. I don't know. I can't speak for that person, but my heart is healed. I forgive that person. I forgive that friend group. Like I have no bad blood. Like I'm just like, okay, that's where we were in life. I've grown a lot. Hopefully they've grown and found amazing blessings and great things, genuinely. But anyway, so the person that was leading the charge in that group for the whole canceled direction or whatever was going on there, I remember they sent me a message, and they sent me a message talking about how I have a platform and I'm not using it right. And that didn't sit well with me at all because I'm like, whose standard am I meeting? Like, I can only do with my platform what I learned to do. Like, I'm sorry that I'm not learning quick enough or using things the way or doing things the way that you want me to or the way you would. But it's not a fair statement to say, oh, your platform, you have a platform and you're not using it right. Like, look what you're doing on your platform. And it's like, okay, I hear you. I do hear you because I get the sentiment of what you're saying. I do because what you're saying is just be better. Your platform, be better. I get that. But at the age that I was with said platform, I'm like, when am I supposed to learn? When am I supposed to take risks? When am I supposed to make bad decisions, get bad results, change them, be better? It's like I was being expected to receive and be perfect right away. And because they were able to do that, I think it was expected that I could. And I took that weight with me for a long time where I was like, oh my gosh, I should like dinner. And it's like, no, I was learning. That was my learning period. You see it all the time with like young actors or young Hollywood. It's like Justin Bieber's journey is different than Selena Gomez's. Selena Gomez is different. People learn stuff at different points. And then some beautifully slide through a public eye and like, I don't know. I imagine Hillary Duff, we haven't heard much bad press. She's, grows up. Great. But there's probably so much thing on the back end that we don't realize that she went through, right? Like nobody has ever had it easy. You might deal with a public platform better than me. So that's something that I like, that I've always been like interested. I forgot the initial question, to be honest, but it got me to this topic. And that's something that I've always never spoke about, that I struggle with, because I'm like, that message that was sent to me was like, oh wow, you're watching me, you're already putting me on a pedestal, right? As if I'm somebody who's supposed to be better than anybody else. So now I'm already in a position in your brain that I'm gonna let you down. Like that showed me that I was never on a human to human, flawed, sinful individual level. Like, you've put me here. So now if I'm not exceeding that, the only option is for me to be an ultimate failure in your eyes. So I mean, that through that, I've learned not to put that weight or expectation on somebody else. And just because your journey looks messy, I think it's smart, helpful, wise, and kind to just keep checking in with that person. Now, it's different if somebody is unapologetically going out and intentionally trying to harm people. That's not this guy. You feel me? So for me, I'm like, it's not going to serve me, my career, my family, my heart to intentionally be trying to harm people. Now, me learning, making poor decisions, making repetitive poor decisions, I got to grow and learn somehow. You know what I mean? Like I'm just happy, hindsight, that I've been able to go through those things. And I'm even thankful to that group and to the leader of that group. Those people know who they are if they're watching, because it refined me in a way that I needed a hard slap, right? Like, because I was learning very slowly. Like, I was like, okay, but like, that's how you feel. Like, that wasn't my intention. So why do you feel that way? Like, they know me personally. I'm like, that I'm too goofy to, like, you think I'm a threat? Like, how? Like, I'm like, where? But that's their reality, right? So it's like, doesn't mean it's not valid. Like, that's what they felt. So anyway, the point of everything I'm saying is things happen for a reason. And I'm literally making this up right now as I go, because I'm like, what am I saying? Things happen for a reason. I'm happy from the lessons that I've had. They've been hard. They've been very, 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 very hard. But they've made me grow so much. And I don't think I would be the human sitting in front of me right now if I didn't have them. And they were mine. And they were beautiful. And I'm gonna write a book one day, and I'll be more specific in the book, and I'll break things down. But until then, it's like, okay, that was for me. That was for me. Ouch. But what can I leave? And I've been in therapy, mind you. The reason I've been able to come to these conclusions, because I've been blatantly honest. Like, that anybody that's watching that's from that group, anything that's like said, done, or heard, I talk about publicly now. Like, I'm like, this will happen, blah, 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 blah. It's wild. And I'm like, bruh, I'm blown away myself. But anyway, and with therapy too, I'm like, the biggest takeaway is obviously breaking all this down and what I could leave and grow from. Simple. Some stuff is worth leaving. There was a lot of stuff said that it's like, okay, that's you're hurt. You need to work on something within you that you're just pushing out because you're mad at whoever harmed you, or you're mad at me, or you're mad at what you assume I am or assume I've done. Like, that's just anger. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, boop, you can keep that. But then there's other stuff that I'm like, I can learn from that. I can grow from that. So hopefully that encourages some people. Lord's willing, he guided my words and my thoughts. I don't really know what the point of me saying all of that was, but hopefully it encouraged and helped somebody. Even just talking about it continues to encourage and help myself. I love y'all. And there's my first solo episode. Thanks for watching.